Hi everyone, my name is Autumn, and today we're going to be reading about Miss Nelson is Missing. Um, it was written by Harry Allard, and it was illustrated by James Marshall. You can see from the book. Now, just looking at the cover of the book, we see a lot of dark colors. Now, what do we think that could mean? Do you think maybe that could mean something bad or something scary, maybe? And have you ever had a teacher go missing? What do we think is going to happen? If you look really closely at the students, none of them are smiling or look happy. So what can we infer as readers? What do we think is going to happen, or what our book is going to be about? Well, let's read and let's find out. All right. So we know we're going to be in a classroom, just based off our picture. The kids in room 207 were misbehaving again. Spitballs stuck to the ceiling, paper planes whizzed through the air. They were the worst behaved class in the whole school. What kind of rules do you have in your classroom? Do you have rules that maybe help keep people safe in the classroom? Now settle down, said Miss Nelson in a sweet voice. But the class would not settle down. They whispered and giggled. They squirmed and they even made faces. So the author tells us that Miss Nelson uses a very sweet and gentle voice, and we also could see that the rest of the class is in kind of a black and white color, while Miss Nelson is in a very bright color. What do we think that means about her character? They were even rude during story hour, and they always refused to do their lessons. Something will have to be done, said Miss Nelson. What do we think is going to happen? Miss Nelson seems a little maybe angry with the class. So what do we think she's going to do to help get the class to behave? The next morning, Miss Nelson did not come to school. Wow, yelled the kids. Now we can really act up. They began to make more spitballs and paper planes. Today, let's just be terrible, they said. Not so fast, hissed an unpleasant voice. What do we think is going to happen? A woman in an ugly black dress stood before them. I am your new teacher, Miss Viola Swamp. And she raked the desk with her ruler. Where's Miss Nelson? Asked the kids. Never mind that, snapped Miss Swamp. Open those arithmetic books. Miss Nelson's kids did as they were told. Now, why do you think the kids listened to Miss Swamp versus Miss Nelson? Do we think maybe it was her tone of voice that was used? They could see that Miss Swamp was a real witch. She meant business. Right away she put them to work, and she loaded them down with homework. So what is Miss Swamp doing that Miss Nelson didn't, that maybe changed the kids' behaviors? We'll have no story hour today, said Miss Swamp. Keep your mouth shut, said Miss Swamp. Sit perfectly still, said Miss Swamp. And if you misbehave, you'll be sorry, said Miss Swamp. Days went by, and there was still no sign of Miss Nelson. The kids missed Miss Nelson. Maybe we should try to find her, they said. Some of them went to the police. Detective McSmog was assigned to the case. He listened to their story. He scratched his chin. He said. I think Miss Nelson is missing. Detective McSmog, he would not help. So why would the kids go to the police? Would you go to the police if your teacher was missing? Other kids went to Miss Nelson's house. The shades were tightly drawn and no one answered the door. In fact, the only person they did see was the wicked Miss Viola Swamp coming up the street. she sees us, she'll give us more homework. And they got away just in time. So do you think the kids maybe are scared? Or do you think they respect this one? Maybe something terrible happened to Miss Nelson. Maybe she was gobbled up by a shark, said one of the kids. But that didn't seem likely. So the kids, as you can see from your pictures, they're getting very worried, and I think they're getting very scared. Do you think maybe they'll behave a little bit better now that they missed their teacher? Maybe Miss Nelson went to Mars, said another kid, but that didn't seem very likely. I know, exclaimed one know-it-all. Maybe Miss Nelson's car was carried off by a swarm of angry butterflies, but that was the least likely of all. So do you think maybe they're letting their imaginations get the best of them? The kids in room 207 became very discouraged. It seemed that Miss Nelson was never coming back, and that they would be stuck with Miss Viola Swamp forever. They heard footsteps in the hall. "Here comes the witch," they whispered. "Hello, children," said someone in a sweet voice. It was Miss Nelson. "Did you miss me?" she asked. "We certainly did," cried the kids. "Where were you?" "That's my little secret," said Miss Nelson. "How about a story hour?" "Oh, yes," cried the kids. And Miss Nelson noticed that during story hour no one was rude or silly. "What brought about this lovely change?" she asked. "That's our little secret," said the kids. Back home, Miss Nelson took off her coat and hung it in the closet, right next to an ugly black dress. When it was time for bed, she sang a little song. "I'll never tell," she said to herself with a smile. P.S. Detective McSpog is working on a new place. He's now looking for Miss Viola Swamp. The end. So we see from our story that rules are meant to happen, and when we don't follow the rules, there are consequences, right? What do you think the teacher did?